Hey everyone, just wanted to give you a quick update. Today is April the 16th and the garden is coming along pretty well. I wanted to just give you a quick update on various things, nothing in specific, but a couple of things of what I'm doing this beautiful Saturday afternoon in Zone 8B here in Texas. So let me show you around my garden and what we're doing, and we still have a lot of things that we're still going to be planting, and I'm going to plant some leeks right now, show you how to do that, and give you an update on the rest of the garden. I have my broccoli here, got 3 broccoli plants, and I also have 3 cauliflower plants, and then my zucchini here is kind of struggling a little bit, but I think as it gets warmer it'll be a lot better, and my lime basil. Then I planted some corn. Corn is doing okay. I planted a few plants, but I also planted some seeds, so those should be coming up here shortly, I hope. Beans are coming up nice. These are pole beans, and as you see here, I have a structure that I kind of created with some PVC pipe, and we're gonna have those pole beans come up and over there, so you can see got those coming in here too. So I put one on each one of those poles, and then I have some other beans that I planted, yellow beans. That one is coming up, and the rest haven't come up at the moment. And some cantaloupe. So I planted this one, and then I have one that's coming up here, and again they'll come up and we're going to grow vertically. I'm going to do a video on the vertical growing here in the next day or so. Cucumbers are coming in nicely. Again, they will be crawling up that vertical trellis there. My Poblano peppers, and as you see, I have quite a bit of space still in my square foot garden, and what I'm going to be doing is finishing up the planting here in the next few days as it's getting a little bit warmer and my plants are getting better. So these are my poblanos. I've got 3 plants of poblanos, and you can see the different sizes. We'll kind of watch that over the course of the next few days and see, or next few weeks, and see how those grow. Okay, and then here's my tomato plants that we planted. I've got 4 different varieties. They're doing well. I'm going to show you a different view, but I do want to show you something that's going to pain some of you, that I want you to do. And we're going to do a whole tomato video, but I do want to show you what we're going to start doing here with our tomato plants being so small. Okay, and I say small, they're probably about a foot tall right now, but you see already we start to get some flowers. And you might think, man, that's great, I'm going to get some tomato plants here soon, and that's not what we want yet. It's a little early in the season. And secondly, more importantly, what we want to do is we want to have a good root system, specifically because it's so doggone hot here in Texas, and we want to have a good root system. So I'm going to, you know, it pains me to do this, just pinch that off. So that's it, sorry. Secondly, we're gonna do again a whole video on this, but as you can see right in here, there is what they call the armpit. So here's the main stalk here. Let me get in here a little bit better. The main stalk here, and then this is a leaf that comes out, and then this part right here, that is what we call a sucker. So what we're gonna try to do, we don't want suckers. Just going to pinch that off, and you see what we just did there. So you're going to pinch those suckers off. You don't want those growth, because that's going to be those side shoots that are going to, there's another one, those side shoots that are going to cause the plant to grow really well and do a lot of leafing, but the fruit is not going to be very well. So go ahead and look in your tomato plants, and as soon as you see these here, the suckers right in the armpit, all you're just going to do is pluck that out. Okay, so do that. Take a look at your tomato plants. Again, I got another tomato plant here. It's got some flowers. This one's got some flowers. We're going to just pull those off, and Again, it pains me to do that, but you don't want to have the plant put so much energy right now into the flowering and the fruiting until the root system has really supported itself. I'm going to be planting my leeks right over here. Show you that in just a minute. And my onions are doing really well. I've got some onion transplants that I did by seed, and some shallots. So let's take a look at the cucumbers. Okay, what I got over here in the cucumber department is, these are some plants that I had planted seeds about a week and a half ago. Or actually, there it is, 314. I planted those in my seeds, and then I planted these just in the ground probably about a week earlier, and you can see how these are starting to come up, and they're almost going to be at the same height as these other ones that I transplanted. So there are some crops that you want to plant in the ground, and beans are one of those for sure. So now let's take a look at the the tomato plants that I have. I have 3 different ways that we were experimenting with our mulch over the season, and we're going to see how that transpires. Now again, keep in mind that we do have 3 different varieties of tomatoes here, so they're going to also kind of grow differently. But I had one with just simple straw. I have one that has grass clippings that we're going to continue to put on, and then the other one I have with mulch. Okay, so if you look at those and you try kind of look at, again, we planted these were all the same height when we planted them. Look at the differences in the growth of the 3. The one that has the mulch or my compost, if you will, that I put on top, that one right there, you see how that one is much bigger. So that's going to kind of give you an idea of what you should be doing when you're putting your plants in the ground. Now, last thing I want to show you is my asparagus. So asparagus is something that takes a little while to grow, and you want to have really good nutritious soil. But I've had these asparagus plants for several years, and there's a few things that you can do with asparagus. The first one is, you see here that it's kind of got the fern on it. So when the asparagus are very small, and you can see here how thin the asparagus is, they'll all come up the same way, but they will come up really small. Those you want to let kind of go into the flowering stage. This is almost close to that, but I'm going to pick this one. But again, you see I missed it's crazy, I missed this one, and already it's grown so high and it's going to flower. I'm going to go ahead and pick that though. But you see here we got one that's coming up nicely, and we got several here, and you can just kind of see how they start coming and popping out of the ground, and then they grow. And then if you don't pick them quickly, then they'll go ahead and flower and fern. So the asparagus trick is that you do this and let the young ones just kind of go if they're small, and as they get larger after year, then you want to pick those. My cilantro is doing very well. My purple basil in the back is struggling a little bit, but again, it's still alive and it's doing pretty well. So that is the update for April the 16th. We still have some planting to go. I'm going to show you how we're going to plant some leeks that I planted by seed right over here. So with our leeks, I planted these leeks by seed, and I planted those on the 12th of February. We're the 16th of April. So you can see these are pretty good, nice and ready to go into the ground. And we're going to plant these right here next to my onion plants. And what you want to do when you're doing planting of leeks, if you're following the square foot garden method, you want to put 9 of these in a square foot. Now the way I have my garden, it's a little oblong shape, so this is a little bit bigger than a full square foot, so I'm going to put a few more than the 9 in this space here. So let's go ahead and show you how we're going to prepare the soil. So what I'm using today is the Brute worm castings. My soil has already been amended. If you, I'll put a link below to that amending the soil video that I did. So the soil itself has got pretty good nutrients, but I always want to put in some of these worm castings throughout the year, especially when I do a fresh planting. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to put a couple of handfuls in here, and that's going to help with the growth of the leeks. Let's put one more in there. It's got great nutrition, and so all I'm just going to do is mix this in as best as I can for the first maybe 3 inches or so, and that's pretty much it. So now once I've had the soil amended and we're ready to plant, I'm going to go ahead and just stick my finger here, and we're going to go, my finger's probably about 3 inches or so, maybe 2 inches, 2.5 inches. So just stick your finger all the way down in there, and you're going to guesstimate maybe about 3 inches apart, maybe 2 inches, and we're going to go 9 or so. Again, I'm going to go a little bit more because I have a little bit more. So this is your basic simple planting. You can do this method with planting of onions the same way. And we're just going to put these holes here, and then we'll divide the leeks up and put those leeks in there, and we'll be all set and ready to go. Okay, so once you do that, now you can take your leeks and gently separate them. That's not very gentle, is it? But again, you don't have to be that gentle, but look at the root structure here on these leeks. Very, very nice. And so all you're just going to do is you can just tease these away, and they see how they just kind of come out. There's no you don't have to be real super gentle with these. They'll do fine. So again, I'm just going to put one in this hole, and I'm going to put a few in there, that way you can see what we're doing. Make sure that all of the roots are in there. And once you put those leeks and the roots in there, then basically you can just cover that up. Same thing here. Cover that up. And now you're all set. So now you have leeks that you're going to be planting. I'll go ahead and plant the rest of these and show you how the end product looks. So again, this is how easy it is. You just kind of tease those roots out, place that in there, place the last one in there. I'm just going to kind of put that in there. You don't have to worry so much about the depth. You don't want to put them too deep in there, but again, place them in there and firm that down, and that is it. So now we have our leeks already planted. We're set. I'm going to go ahead and label that, put that in there, and as I'm planting these leeks, I'm looking over here. This is again some updates on the different plants. So I planted some cilantro seeds, and you can see here we got quite a bit here, so we're going to thin some of that out as these get up a little bit bigger. And again, I planted a succession of seeds here, so these are going to be coming up a little bit later, and these will be more mature than these will, so that way we don't have a ton of cilantro, don't know what to do with it, and then we have nothing. So and then if you can see here, I have a little bit of basil coming in, the plants, the little seeds that I planted here, and those are doing well also. So that is your garden update for April the 16th, and we'll do some more instructional videos on planting tomatoes and planting some other different stuff. We have a few more holes here in our square foot garden that we're going to be planting So if you haven't subscribed to the station yet, my YouTube channel, please subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and like this if you found something that was helpful in there. That also helps me get the word out to other gardeners that are interested in learning about gardening. So until next time, happy gardening.